Hey guys, Enigma here. I have a deck profile for you guys today of Mekk-knights, just pure Mekk-knight. Um, this deck is very underrated for just being what it is, pure. Very excited to be able to play it again, especially in this new format. I do have some cards coming in the mail right now from Dual Overload. It's the, what's her name? Lib, the World Key Blade Master. I would definitely be playing a few of them in this deck. Just right now, I'm not. I just don't have the. I couldn't make the mail faster at all, so it's been already a week. But we're just gonna have to go on without it. And the extra deck, really, a lot of this extra deck is up to player's choice. I'm just gonna have the main few cards that you should be playing. So yeah, let's just get into this deck profile. First, we have three Purple Nightfall, the searcher for the deck. Three Blue Sky. Blue Sky is the another searcher for the deck, but Purple Nightfall is just the better first first search to get to the Blue Sky to search for another two Mekk-knights. So 3 Indigo Eclipse helps you move around on the board so you can get more Mekk-knights out. 2 Red Moon. He's able to banish a Mekk-knight from grave to pop a monster on field. So it's definitely really good just to have him and then have all these beat sticks on the field basically to swing over. I play 2 Yellow Star. Really, the only reason I'm playing this is because it's kind of back row. I see a lot of back row when I play against this deck. Um, Yellow Star is able to kind of get around it. A lot of people don't expect it, so that, and then it's another Mekk-knight name. I cannot wait for the Orcus Mekk-knight to come out, just because it'll be a lot easier to have a Mekk-knight that is that low of level in the deck. Next is Orange Sunset, another Mekk-knight name that I have, and then the Mekk-knight Green Horizon. You really don't need to be playing these really, like, you could take out these three, but I play them just because the field spell, I like to try to see if I can get the win condition for the field spell in general. So that's mainly the Mekk-knights. I do have a few more Mekk-knights, but you'll see. Next, we have 2 Rescue Rabbits. So, yes, I am playing the 3 Mekk-knight Avram. He is that second Mekk-knight name. He will be taking out, or maybe just put to 1 or 2 maybe. I might play the 1 Rescue Rabbit with 2 Avram. It just depends on how good this new Mekk-knight is when he comes out. An Eternity Code, I believe. So, yeah. But this just gets you a first turn Rescue Rabbit, summon 2 Avram. You get a first turn link for the 2 monsters. So, since they're Mekk-knight, you can go into Morningstar. Next, I have 2 Gamma Seals. I'm not really wanting to run anything else. Just Gamma Seal is the better of the kaijus, and being able to have that monster in your opponent's zone, Blue Sky is just way better. And then you can choose where this one goes, and then you can summon the Mekk-knight to the zone that you put it in, and then have a spell or trap. So having these is good. It's just not always good because your opponent may not have a monster to be able to tribute. Next, 2 World Legacy Scars. It is an okay field spell. Like, it lets you draw a round card, certain cards. Basically, you discard a Mekk-knight card to your grave. You have another Mekk-knight in grave anyways for the name. You get to draw a card. Or if you don't have the right legacy card, you already have one on the field and it's just going to be dead, draw a card. So it helps get rid of cards that you just don't need. It's well, you only play really two. So next, 2 World Legacy Key. A lot of people don't play the World Legacy Mekk-knight cards. It really surprises me when I hear that they only play like the one. Yeah, I was just like, wait, are you serious? It's when this card is activated, target one of your banished Mekk-knight monsters or World Legacy cards, add it to your hand. You already activate one of your monster's effects. You banished, say, Purple Nightfall, banish one of your monsters. You can add that monster back. I know it already supposed to come back, but you can just special summon it. So you just have the resource in hand. Or if your opponent banishes a monster, like say Purple Nightfall, before its effect, just because of the way the chain works, you can get it back. Or one of your monster's effects activates, like the Red Moon, I believe. Banish a Mekk-knight, add a card. Yeah, it's help recoverable. But that's not even the best part about this card. It's a floodgate. And then negate any opponent's trap effect that activates in the same column as a Mekk-knight. So any Mekk-knight monster on the field, we have Indigo Eclipse. It just negates traps in that column. So your opponent never remembers that ever when you play this deck. So but after the first time that they realize that they can't play their columned trap, just because I moved the Indigo Eclipse to that trap zone, the trap lane, they get very frustrated and they look out to get around this. I've even gotten around like evenly matched and imperms because of this. It's just a great card, especially going against like just trap heavy decks. Next, 3 World Legacy Memory. Yes, it does lock you into only world with the World Legacy the Mekk-knight monsters, but it's a free special summon of a Purple Nightfall to then banish, to then search for a Blue Sky, to then special summon Blue Sky. You get 2 more draws, Mekk-knights. So it's a very great starter card. Yeah, it helps you get to that Nightfall. It's like a Rhoda pretty much, but special summon. 2 Paw of Desires. You could be playing Extravagance in this deck. If I had access to Extravagance, I might play 2. Yeah. Desires is just pretty much as good in this deck. You really just don't need to go through your deck too often for it. Pot of Avarice. I just kind of threw it in here because there's so much recyclability you can do, especially with if you go into your links in this deck, then you can get some of them back, draw 2. It just helps you to just recycle a little bit, get more in the grind game. 1 Monster Reborn and 1 Regeki. No one plays these as much anymore, but I like them still. Plus, who can say no to that artwork? You know what I mean? So. And then finally, for the last 2 spells, I play 1 Mind Control and 1 Insta-Fusion to round off the spells. Insta-Fusion just to get out the Thousand-Eyed Restrict. You put it in that extra monster zone. You have the other zone right here. You put a spell or trap in. And then you have a perfect opportunity to summon a Mekk-knight on your own field. So, yeah. Next, traps. 3 World Legacy Secret. It's basically the Kalahana of the deck, but just like the other spell, this also has negate any opponent's monster effect that activates in the same column as a Mekk-knight monster you control. So this is kind of a skill drain, and it's very frustrating when you have to see this against. Ooh, there's a cat. That. Sorry. I have my window open and there's a cat that just walked by. And my other cat is staring at it. Okay. Anyways, basically, not only is it basically a Call of the Haunted, but it's a skill drain if you have the right monsters on the field, especially Indigo Eclipse. Again, having this with trap negates and the next card I'm going to show you literally just makes it so your opponent cannot play. This is such a control-based deck that people underestimate. 2 World Legacy Whispers. This one, like the other two, this one act on activation, target a level 5 or higher monster on the field, gains 1,000 attack and defense. Not the best, but until the end of the turn, it's until the end of the turn, but it helps just a little bit get over some of those like Blue Eyes decks and stuff. Negate any opponent's spell effect that would activate in the same column as Mekk-knight. Again, how broken is that? Just negate your opponent's spells. It's like, okay, you have the 1 Indigo. You went first, and let's see. You went first, and they were able to top deck a Regeki or so, or a Lightning Storm, and they got all of your monsters, and you had an Indigo Eclipse on your field. So now you have the back row, and you had already activated the 1 key. So negate traps. You activate World Secret, special summon Indigo Eclipse. So any column that Indigo Eclipse is in, and any Mekk-knight in general, would just be negate of traps and monster effects. But then they activate another card, so per se like Whispers, I'm going to negate your 1 card that does that, or I'm going to negate your pot, or I'm going to negate something that activated in the same column, and no one understands how broken some of these cards are for the deck. And finally, for the last 2 traps, just 2 Solemn Strikes. Nothing fancy for the trap lineup. You could even, I might even put 2 evenly matched instead of strikes, or maybe some imperms. It just kind of depends. It's all in your preference. And finally, for the extra deck, the 1,000 I Restrict, 2 Mekk-knight Supreme. You're never going to make the second one. It's just I like having the name of the second one in the extra deck. I was even considering putting in some a Zaborg or a Gale Dagra to help get some of the extra deck monsters out of the extra deck, because you almost never summon them. But if you do, it would help get that field spell resolved. Because if you get that field spell resolved, you win the game. 2 Morning Stars helps you get to your spells, especially the World Legacy cards. Very great card. This one did come in the other day. The Star Leader, I'm sorry. It's just, it helps, especially with cannot be used as link material. That's fine. I'm not really going to use it as link material. You can target 1 face-up monster this points to. So say you summon this with the 2 Abrams, and then you have a Indigo. You put special summon Indigo, put it here, and say you have another one that just can't be summoned because you're going to summon another one here, and that one can't be moved after you switch to Indigo. You can then use its effect to special summon another one from your hand to the other zone. So it could definitely help out with the deck. You're probably not going to see it as often. You usually want to go into this one with Abrams, but it's still an option. Next is number 68. Really, you could put in any rank 8s in this deck that you would want. If I had a Hope Harbinger, I'd easily put that in. I just don't have it. There's a lot of cards I just don't have, thanks to everyone being at home. I don't have access to locals to help finish up some of these extra decks. But you really don't need an extra deck for this deck. Like I said, Extravagance, you can really just choose what you want to put in. So Yeah. And then the last card I have for this extra deck would be the Lancelot Dark Knight. This wins you games. People don't understand. 2 negates plus attack directly plus a pop on your opponent's monster. Great card. It's a must one at least in every rank 8 deck that can do it. So yeah, that's it for my Mekk-knight deck. Yes, I did get this mat just so I could have the Mekk-knights too. It is one of my favorite decks for control based themes. Let me know if you guys think of anything else that I should be putting in the extra deck. Yeah, you guys have a good one. Like I said, 2 lib of the World Keyblade Master definitely helps out the deck, especially searching out more of the World Legacy cards. So yeah, you guys have a great one. Enigma out.